All right, so I have my new Stator backplate for to go with my new coil for my vape ignition. And before I put it all together, I thought it'd be interesting to compare the original plate, which was this one right here, with what SIP is shipping today. And it's definitely, this one's a whole lot better. So the first thing you'll notice is, of course, and this is where it broke off, but look at this. You have these three little tiny attachment points compared to now where it's just one giant piece. So that's solid improvement in my book. They now give us a nice degree mark here for those of us who are not just trying to set ARIT, but actually set timing. This gap here, I kind of recall this, and I can feel it when I touch with my thumb, but I had to Dremel the crap out of this to open it up enough in order to actually get the wiring harness through here and out of my cases. So solid improvements. One other nice thing worth mentioning is that you have these rivets here which fit into these two slots. So they effectively provide locating pins to orient this, and then you just install it with the three Allen head screws. So also, we're going back to my root cause being the too long screws. So these two are the same length, which is 15.75, call it, on my measurement, versus this guy. And this is the one that was actually seated, and he is 14.75, so he's a millimeter shorter. And that millimeter was all it took to make the difference. So I'm going to cheat. I'm going to grind these down. But so once I take the end down a millimeter, then I should be good to go. I can put it all back together and get it back on the road. $15.2, that'll work. Do the other one, then we can install. Okay, and now this is kind of where I got in trouble last time, because the way I usually put a stator in is that I get the screw started, get it to about here, and then I'll tighten down one. And see, this one last time was the one that went all the way down. And so it deceived me that the others were sitting tight. Just kind of get him. And this lets me make sure that everything's seated properly. These are not quite all there. So this gives me a moment to check my my alignment, which I transferred a mark, which, assuming that's correct, I won't have to readjust this thing when I time it. So this was down tight, it seemed like. These had just the tiniest bit of play in them. Now they're down tight enough that, yeah, there's nothing going on there. All right, should be good to go. Let's find out. According to the timing light, I am at 37 degrees before top dead center at 7,000 RPMs, which I don't think I believe. So I guess I'm gonna find top dead center and measure it from scratch, which I was kind of hoping to avoid, but sometimes hopes work out and sometimes they don't. I'll do that and try again. All right, let's see if I can show you what the timing light's showing me. So it's actually sitting about 13 degrees before top dead center when I rev it up to 7,000 RPMs. So we're going to back that off to 17, and then it'll probably be time for a test ride. All right, so I've made got a mark here. Now I can loosen up my stator just a touch, because that worked out so well for me last time. I'm gonna back this guy up 4 degrees. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Tighten it back down, and this should be good to go. So one more retime, and hopefully ready for a test ride. Okay, so timing was good. Had just enough time for a real quick little test ride. Took it out, and oh my God, thing just front wheel pops up in first gear, pops up in second gear. It was floating pretty good in third gear as it hit the power band. This thing is an absolute beast. I'll have to get some onboard footage and maybe some action shots of it, and post those up in the next day or two as work and weather allow. But wow, the Quttrini is living up to all my expectations at this point. So I am really, really pleased with where this thing's wound up.